the floor of a tent. Spread the pelvic floor. And on the exhale, tighten the center of it and pull up like you're lifting the tent from being relaxed into the tent shape. Notice if there's any part of that pelvic floor that's tighter than another part. Sometimes we have scar tissue if we've had children. And that scar tissue restricts the movement of a certain part of the pelvic floor, which you would think, well, what would that matter? It's such an out-of-the-way place. But it actually does, because all of the muscles of the hip connect into it, as well as many of the abdominal muscles. So if you have scar tissue there, that scar tissue is going to be pulling on those other muscles, causing an imbalance in the body. And any imbalance, no matter how small, will have its repercussions. So having said all that, if you find that there's an area of your pelvic floor which is tighter than another area of your pelvic floor, start to breathe more space into it. In terms of stretching positions, this is the only one I ever use yin yoga approach for. Because it's totally safe to do so. Most of the others, in my opinion, just dunking into gravity.
What is the yin yoga approach?
Hanging out for a long time in a stretch. And relaxing into it more. We'll be here for 5 more breaths. Is anybody noticing any tension in their pelvic floor? So you're not going to correct imbalances that have been there for a long time in one session, but it's something to be aware of and practice.
I feel it more in here, like an extension, like these muscles.
The hamstrings.
Mm-hmm.
Hamstrings connected to the pelvic floor. Back off from an edge that's so uncomfortable that you feel, you've got to find the right edge in stretching. You don't want to overstretch the hamstrings. But the more you open up the pelvic floor, the more you'll find that your hamstrings release too. But it's up to you to find that right edge that you're not overstretching. If you overstretch a muscle that's not ready to let go, that's one of the reasons why working in intense heat can be deceiving and even dangerous. Because if you overstretch a muscle that's not ready to let go, you won't feel it if it's really hot. And then later that muscle is going to rubber band back, probably to even less flexibility than before you stretched it. And now it's got scar tissue. So a lot of people have issues with their hamstrings going into their forward bends all the time, and then just keep re-tearing the tears, and you're building up scar tissue in the insertion of the hamstring. It's quite a common problem in yoga. And hamstring flexibility, again, is not the goal of yoga. A lot of people feel like they can't do yoga because they can't touch the floor in a forward bend, for instance. Men are very inflexible, like, I can't do yoga. Look, I lean over, I can't even touch the floor. Hamstring flexibility is not the measure of a yogi. What we do want is to keep our bodies supple enough that we're comfortable in them, and we can do all the activities that we need to do in life. Like sit up, like stand up and sit down. We take that for granted, but there comes a time when we can't do that anymore. reaching something, being able to lift things, being able to twist, turn our heads, all those things we take for granted. We want to be able to do all those things in life and have a nice smooth flow upon it. So I'm just going to invite you to close your practice how you want, including you can just go into your rest now.